Survival but without the usually annoying mechanics? Check. Simple but challenging combat? Check. Rewarding progression system? Check. 99% destructible world? Check. Available on all major platforms? Check. Let's talk about Dysmantle, the best survival game you've probably never played. Before we begin, I want to thank Handsome Ivan, Lyndon Dade, Mateo Solis, Matthew Campbell, Stephen Van, the Overseer 91, and all my other channel members and patrons for helping make videos like this possible. Becoming a channel member or patron is the best way to support my channel, and you can do so via the links in the description. Thanks again to all my channel members and patrons. Let's get started. So what is Dysmantle? Dysmantle is an action-adventure survival game where you are the lone surviving human on an island, and your main goal, or basically your only goal, is to escape the island. And what you're going to notice here is it's a top-down perspective. You can change the camera angle. And the cool thing about this game is it just kind of simplifies the survival aspect and focuses strictly on surviving. So as you're going to notice on the UI, there's only a couple of things on my UI. Top left corner, we have our health meter. Top right corner, we have our XP meter, our level and the star, and then the XP meter. Bottom right, you're going to have the currently equipped tool. Pretty much everything you do in the game is going to give you XP, so you're going to level up. When you level up, you'll be able to pick skills that you can level up. And then the other cool thing is pretty much everything in the world is destructible. 99% of the things that are destructible. The only things that aren't destructible are going to be things that are just story related, like the campfire. So here's the first campfire you're going to run into. Campfires are all around the world. And then there's also going to be these where you can store your materials. So the cool thing about this is the campfire allows you to do certain things. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit down here at the campfire and just show you what it does. So at the beginning, you're going to be able to upgrade your gear, and you can also look at your inventory. You can leave. There's other features that'll be unlocked as you progress through the game. And then also we have the storage box. This storage box is kind of like a storage box from, it's like the Ender chest from Minecraft, where basically you put your stuff in it and then you can access it from any other storage box in the entire world. Every campfire is going to have a storage box. That makes inventory management a lot easier. I won't say that inventory management in this game is perfect. Of course, that's always a challenge in survival games, but it is much better than many other survival games just because you can just universally store things in this chest and be able to access them from anywhere in any campfire in the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to start breaking stuff, and you'll notice here that I can break these chairs. However, I can't currently break this table because I need 10 damage, and I can't currently break these barrels here either. So you can break, like I said, 99% of the things in the world. What you're going to end up having to do is upgrade your gear. Later on, you'll get better gear that can break more things. And I'm just skipping over the tooltips here. Basically, it's telling me to break this. It wants me to break the dresser here, but I can't do that yet because I haven't upgraded my gear. So we're not going to break everything here. I just want to give you the basics of this. We're going to go over here to the campfire, and I should have enough to upgrade my crowbar. So as you can see here in the upgrade gear option, you're going to have different things. Right now I have a backpack, which I'm going to need 10 plant matter and 4 scrap fabric to upgrade, and it will upgrade me from 5 to 6 slots, and also upgrade each slot from 4 to 5. So that's giving you an extra carry slot plus 1 extra carry slot per slot. So that's a huge upgrade. And then the crowbar here is going to increase damage from 8 to 12, and you can see the stats going to increase here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this. You're just going to hold down the left mouse button, or if you're on mouse and keyboard. Not sure what it is on controller. I have not played it on console. It is available on every platform. So once we've upgraded that, we can go here. We can also look at the inventory real quick. You'll notice over here, you're going to have your stats. Right now I have 20 hit points. I'm level 1. Tells me the survival temperature. That's going to be something we'll talk about a little bit later on. We have different modifiers you can unlock here, so we'll also talk about that a little bit later on. Right now, I just have a backpack and the crowbar. You can get both headgear and outfits. You're going to need those. They're going to need specific headgear and outfits for different situations. You can carry up to 4 tools. You'll unlock these slots as you level up. There's going to be 4 special items you can also unlock, or 4 special item slots you can unlock, and many special items. And then there's going to be trinkets you can add that'll just give you bonus stats. So let's just move on here a little bit further. And I'm going to avoid as many spoilers as possible. We're just going to kind of just keep it at the very beginning zone. I just want to show you the basic gameplay mechanics and let you know why I highly recommend playing the game. So as you can see here, we can't break that, and we can't break that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over here. We're going to listen to this. You're probably not going to hear this because I do have the game sound muted. Unfortunately, some of the songs in the game, and I don't remember exactly when to play, some of the songs I think are copyrighted. So basically, there's going to be radios all around the world. They're going to let you know what the story is. You can also cook. You can cook at the stoves that are around the world. You can also later on cook at the campfires. And we're just going to head out here. So we're going to break these real quick and move out here and show you the basics of combat. There should be some enemies out here. There's a decent number of different types of enemies. You're going to find most of the enemies are... there's a couple different kind of enemies, and you'll encounter the same enemies throughout the world, but as you get further and further away from the starting zone, you'll end up fighting tougher enemies. So they're just called ex-human scrappers. Essentially, they're kind of like zombies. These are the people that were around the world. We're going to sneak up on this guy and do a heavy attack. So the bases of combat are you can hit and you can dodge basically by rolling. Very simple. However, it's very punishing. If you get sloppy, even like late game, when I was like super late game, had everything unlocked, was pretty high level, there were times where I almost died because I just got careless, thinking it was going to be too easy. So as you can see here, it's going to pop up in the left corner here, escape the island. That's our main objective right now, is to escape the island. And what we're going to do is we're going to move through here and just talk about some other things. So the one thing about the campfires is you'll notice I killed this mob and it died. Now, I'm just going to show you the feature real quick. What we're going to do here is this mob's here, and if I don't go to the campfire, nothing will happen. That mob will not respawn. However, going to a campfire to upgrade my gear or to later on you can sleep, what that's going to do is it's going to respawn the mobs. Now, this is good if you want to farm XP, but it's also going to make you have to decide how often you want to do that. Because if you go through an area where it's kind of tough for you and you barely get through and you killed all the mobs, but then you have to use a campfire, it's going to respawn all the mobs, meaning you're going to have to repeat it over again. So that's a pretty cool mechanic that I definitely like that mechanic. And there is a way later on to end up making the mobs not be able to spawn. Now, in addition to that, there's also going to be rewarding progress. So basically everything you do, like you can see here, everything you do is going to give you... pretty much everything is going to give you XP. So anything you break will give you XP. Anytime you kill a mob, you're going to get XP. So you're kind of rewarded for that when you... And we should level up pretty quickly. So we'll just go around here. And as you can see, I took 7 damage there. I only have 20 HP. This mob is almost killing me. So this is a starter mob. And getting sloppy there, I nearly died. So what I would most likely do here is go back to the campfire. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to reset the mobs. So we're just going to go through here. We're just going to collect some gear. We're going to collect some things and progress further on. Here you can see another campfire. So each zone's going to have many campfires. And basically they just let you save. They basically give you like just places to store your stuff, upgrade your stuff, sleep if you need to sleep. So we got 100 XP from that. We're getting close to getting it. So I'll just skip ahead just a second. Actually, no, we unlocked something. So we've unlocked a cooking recipe. Now, you may have noticed that, like I said earlier, you only have the HP meter. There's no hunger, there's no thirst, there's no stamina, there's no durability. There's literally none of the tedious things that, while I guess in some cases, in some games, they make the game more challenging. In many games, they just make the game just more tedious and annoying. In this game, cooking, all it does is gives you two things. You can either get the permanent effects the first time you cook it. So like if I get 3 tomatoes here, I can make tomato soup. It'll give me +5 max HP points. After that, every time I make that food, it will heal me. So that's a way of healing without actually having to go back and go to the campfire, because going to the campfire will restore your health. So we're just going to search here, and it gave us 2 tomatoes. So we need 1 more tomato in order to be able to make that. We'll probably find that at another house here. And here we've made our way to this tower here. So this is the link tower. These are the main things you're going to be looking for in each zone. Each one of the zones will have a link tower. We're going to activate it. It's going to do this little cutscene. What the link towers do is they let you fast travel. So you'll unlock link towers in each zone. You can fast travel between them. And you're going to see, here's the map. Here's the area I've explored. Exploring the entire map is going to take you probably 40 to 50 hours, depending on how many side quests you do, how much destruction you're doing, whether or not you're going into every single building, whether or not, it just really depends. I would say you're going to get a minimum 30 hours out of the game. But there are things in many of these zones that you kind of have to do in order to be able to progress through the main story. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil that for you, but basically completing 100% of the game took me about 75 hours. I did everything. So right now, there's going to be 2 gates in this area. There's the east gate and the west gate. Our main goal right now is to open this west gate, but we can't open it because it's going to show we got this big boy here. So this is the first big mob you're going to run into. These guys are pretty tough to deal with. I'm not going to go against him just yet, or I'm not sure if I'm going to go against him at all. And then we got our mini map acquired, which is cool. You can see we have 5 slots down here in our backpack right now, and each slot has 4 carrying capacity. So right now we can carry a total of just 20 items. And what we want to do here is we're going to search some stuff. Let's just break these things. We're looking for another tomato so we can cook. You'll find leveling up will get leveling up ends up being very easy if you go through an area and fully clear it. So now we're at level 2. So let's just go over here. We're gonna sit at the campfire. It'll tell you here you can invent a recipe. Depending on the level, you'll unlock different inventions where you can craft stuff. So I wanted to show you that. So now we have the cooking pot. That means we can cook at the campfires. So we're gonna sit down here. Actually, I think you need the cooking pot to cook at the stove. So automatically it restores your health and replenish uses, but it also is going to respawn all the mobs we just killed. So level up here. As you level up, you'll have different skills you can unlock, and depending on I think you can get between 3 and 5 skills. The first one you're going to get is Inventor, so we're going to pick that, and it's going to unlock the Invent and Craft here. You're going to notice there are lots of things you can unlock. These are unlocked at different levels. So just an example over here, this one's unlocked at 4, this one's unlocked at level 10, and what you're going to do is as you're leveling up, you're going to need different things. You're going to need these because some of them you're going to need to be able to progress, specifically like the gear. One thing we haven't talked about yet is gear. There are different gears you can wear, both the headgear and the outfit, and you're going to need some of them because there's different environments in the world. Some of them require you to wear special either headgear or complete outfits, as well as the trinkets, depending on the zone. There's basically, you can see the survival temperature was from some amount to some amount. There's going to be places that are colder, places that are hotter. You're going to have to wear different gear and unlock them. There's also another special headpiece you'll need to access certain areas. I'm not going to spoil that. So we got the throwing knives over here. So basically we need one more scrap metal to be able to do this, to unlock this and craft it. That's good. That would be our first additional accessory. And then the camp upgrades here, place for cooking the recipes at stove. So we need four more ceramics to be able to do that. So there's tons to unlock here. You don't have to unlock everything, but as you're playing through the game, you will naturally unlock most of this stuff. And then each of these things, well, many of these things can be upgraded. As you can see here, the backpack can be upgraded up to 6 times. Most of the things can be upgraded many times. So if we'll back out of here, we can go to upgrade gear. So right now we need 3 more plant matter to upgrade our backpack. And like I said, that's going to go from 5 to 6 slots and from 4 to 5 spaces per slot. So right now we can only carry 20 items. That'll be able to, now we'd be able to carry 30 items after that, which would basically increase our carrying capacity by 50. So what you're going to see here is now the mobs are going to respawn. So this is kind of the cycle you go through early on where you're going to have the mobs respawning and you're going to have to decide how often you go to the campfires in order to progress through the zones. Let's take care of this guy real quick. We'll go do the side quest real quick because I kind of want to show you. There's tons of different kinds of side quests. Some of them are go finding things. Some of them are killing a certain amount of enemies. So this is the side quest here. It's going to be, I can't even do this one. It's require level 5. So this one basically is kill a certain amount of enemies in a given amount of time. There's others that are finding an item and bringing them back. So you got the fetch quest, you got the kill quest, different stuff like that. And then in addition to that, like I said, everything's indestructible. There's main quest and side quest. So that will be a side quest, this little exclamation point here. And that'll also show up in here. You can go into your inventory at any time and check your quests. So right here is the main quest. As you progress, you'll get lots of side quests unlocked. They will give you rewards. They will give you XP, but sometimes they'll also give you the ability to unlock different things that you can invent. So they'll unlock stuff in that invention tree. And you're going to want to do is, I would recommend doing as many side quests as possible, just because that's the best way to unlock everything in the game. And then in addition to that, a couple other things that are in the game as I'm walking around here just farming stuff. There are different types of objectives you can do. There's some puzzle objectives. So actually there's one right back here. I don't know if I can't go down into it yet because you need to invent something to go down there, but I'll just show you what it looks like because these are scattered around the map. These guys are kind of, like I said, they're pretty simple to kill. The combat, like I said, looks easy. And maybe I'll go find one of the secondary bosses here. So this gate right here, we're going to have to get the lockpick to get here. This down here is going to be a little dungeon area. It's got like a puzzle in it. There's not enemies in these, but these are scattered around the zones. There's different ones around the zones. There's a bunch of these. You go down there and there's going to be a puzzle you have to solve. And they tend to get more complicated. And at the end of the puzzle, you're going to get a resource that you're going to need to progress, to basically just advance through the game. So it's highly recommended to do those. There's also going to be shelters, like the one that I came out of, that you can defend. That's kind of like a little mini tower defense mode. And there's also some wave defense stuff that where you basically activate an object. It's kind of like this tower, but it looks different. You'd activate the object, and then there'll be mobs that spawn. And you have to kill a certain amount of mobs. Once you kill them, you have the ability to keep going. Each round you do it, you'll get better rewards, and there's 5 for each one of those. Those are optional. You don't have to do those, but if you want 100% the game, you're going to need to. The collection tab is one thing I didn't talk about. This is going to show you all the different materials right now, so all of these slots will unlock. I think the last one is currently that's just saved for the DLC that'll be coming later on. All these will be all these different resources. You have all these different metals you can unlock, and I don't think this is much spoilers here, but because I just unlocked these in the first couple of minutes. Each one of these has 3 different levels every time you reach a level. So there's a bronze, silver, and I think gold. Each time you'll get a XP here. There is an achievement for doing all of these, I think, maxing them all out, or for some of them. And then down here we have the recipes. So these are the crafting recipes. These are the things I've currently unlocked from just leveling up to level 2. We have all these cooking recipes. There's a couple, all these except for I think like 4 of them are currently unlockable. And then the cooking recipes, you can unlock all of these. So there's tons of different cooking recipes. They each give you different bonus stats that are permanent. And then you also have skills. So every time you level up, you'll be able to pick a skill. There's different ones. Farming, fishing, which I also didn't talk about. So there is farming and fishing in the game. Those are optional, but they're going to be recommended if you want to progress. I'd recommend doing both of them when you come across them. Points of interest, each zone that you unlock is going to have a certain number of points of interest. There's going to be different types. So far we found the radios, the campfires, the link tower. We came out of the shelter, and then here's another campfire. You're going to notice these exclamation points are going to be side quests you can do. Then there's also the little puzzle area I showed you that you'll have to come back to. So because you can't access every area at the beginning, it gives you a reason to come back to those areas. So far, there's me, there's the ex-human scrapper, and the ex-human hurler. You can see there's several more hostile enemies here. There's also some non-hostile enemies, or non-hostile creatures. Keys I don't have anymore, and total progress. Right now I played for 20 minutes and we're at 0.5% for medals. It chooses the main quest, so it basically tells you where you've done. For my main playthrough, I think it took me about 75 hours to 100% everything. Like I said, I didn't want to show off a ton of stuff in this video. I wanted to show off the basics. What you'll find is very rarely will you end up not having something to do. You shouldn't hit too many roadblocks. You're constantly unlocking the medals. You're constantly getting XP for doing things. You'll always be finding things, and that'll be the case for the first 30 or so hours. Like, you can play through the whole game and not really have any lulls in the action because you're going to be going to new zones. As you can see on the map, I just unlocked I can now go to the second zone. It's going to tell me where it wants me to go, and you can see here, because I found this link tower, it's going to tell me the other link towers. Each of these zones has link towers you can go to. The map is enormous, and it will take you quite a while to explore the whole map, and you do need to explore the whole map in order to, you're going to go to basically every zone to finish the game. So that's Dysmantle in a nutshell. The great thing is, as I'm recording this, they just recently announced there's going to be a huge DLC coming in August. So I'm recording this in July 2022. There's a big DLC coming in August 2022 that's going to expand a bunch on the game. It's going to add levels to it. So now will be a great time to play it. If what you see is, if you like what you see, you can also, I would encourage you to watch the trailers and look at stuff. Like I said, I didn't want to spoil too much while I was playing in this video. I didn't want to go beyond like the first zone, beyond the first like 15 to 30 minutes of gameplay. So that's Dysmantle. It's available on PC via Steam and GOG, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile. You can play it pretty much on everything. It's, I think, $20 on the console and PCs. I think it's only $10 on mobile, so it's super inexpensive. You'll easily get 40 to 50 hours out of the game completing the main quest, and if you end some of the side quests, because you're going to have to do some of the side quests, and if you 100% the game like I did, it's going to take you probably 60 to 70 hours, maybe longer, depending on how long you take to explore areas, how much stuff you destroy, and things along those lines. There's also a major DLC, like I said, coming in August, so now's a great time to check out the base game. If you like survival games or action adventure games, I highly recommend playing Dysmantle. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.